Mic check, Gary.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Let us know in the comments if we have audio.
It says they got 3.
Somebody's staying up late.
Hmm.
Look this way, Gary.
Says they got 3. I heard it. I got it. I got volume.
The volume. How many people you got watching? One? Yourself?
3.
Everything's good behind the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Go check it.
Okay. You can stand it. Don't worry. You don't have to be super quiet. Just make sure. Just make sure that you can see us good. Oh, that's. Don't just. Can you see us? Okay, good.
Yep. Ready, Gary?
Whenever you're ready, bro.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 3 Recap Show Late Night Edition here from the studio. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost 2 a.m., but who cares at this point? There was no way we could go to bed and not talk about some of these matchups, Mr. Swallow. We are broadcasting live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. Speaking of Opelousas, Louisiana, holy cow, the Tigers did something tonight.
That's awesome.
We're going to get into it.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Oh, yes.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're with us this late, thank you. Thank you for being loyal listeners and followers. And why not stay up late with Under the Lights? Because we got some football to talk, my friend.
Man, we got a lot of things to talk about for this week. Week 3 was amazing.
Week 3, amazing. Week 2 was hard to beat. Week 1 was even harder to beat. Week 3 might have just topped the cake. You got some dandies of some matchups. And you got some finishes here that you ain't gonna believe if I even told you.
We got some excitement, we got some suspense, and we got some wows.
Gary, we got helmet stickers to give out.
Yes.
We got games of the night to talk about. We got upsets of the night to talk about. We got UTL statement win of the night. And Gary Swallow, I heard from a little birdie that the streak is broken.
I heard that too.
We're gonna get into it. The streak is gone, my friend. There it is.
We start from scratch.
The streak
is over. We 0-0 now. That's unbelievable.
I'm so happy for that program.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to dive into Week 3. Can't believe we already 3 weeks over. Just like that.
Man, before you know it, the playoffs will be here. Then before you know it, the season will be over. Then we're going to be all depressed again.
Booking the trip to New Orleans before you know it.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, holy cow. Let's dive right into it. Let's talk about some Thursday night football. Gary, we'll go through these Thursday night football real quick, and then Friday, we got a lot to get into with Friday. So let's talk about Thursday night for a second.
Right.
Opelousas Catholic Port Barry met on the gridiron, and OC's really owned this series these last 10 plus years. Opelousas Catholic, they flexed their muscles all night, and
we covered it. Well, actually, you covered it. I wasn't able to, but
tell you what, that fullback, that quarterback, and that running back they got over there with the Vikings. It's a special trio right there that they got. So Opelousas Catholic beats Port Barry 52-0. Moving along, you had Catholic New Iberia and ERAF meeting up on Thursday Night Football. ERAF, I told you this is a good football team, and another week they go out and prove it. So congratulations to ERAF. Home win this week.
Right.
And then another one. You talking about statements? The Welsh
Yes,
Greyhounds aren't playing around this year, Mr. Swallow. This is 3 weeks. Well, 1 week got canceled. This is back-to-back weeks that the Welsh Greyhounds have basically said, we're back and we're ready.
They're playing some good ball right now at this time, and they flex their muscles a little bit to, let everybody know that, hey, we're here, and Hamilton Christian was the victim tonight.
Oh, Lord. 65 points scored Thursday night. Welsh, they don't seem like they fixing to cool off anytime soon.
Nope. I think they're going to keep on getting better.
And the bracket they fell in, that favors them big time.
You're right.
Next up, Iota Crawley. Iota searching for their first win of the season and the first one under new head coach, Coach Archway, Coach Ray over there.
Mm-hmm.
So looking for their first win and his first win as the new head coach. And Coach gets it on Thursday night. Final score 15-8. What a thriller of a game that must have been. Defense showed up and showed out. Congratulations to Coach at Iota, picking up his first career victory as a head coach.
With a new staff in there, you think that it would take a little bit of time, but man, I tell you what, they were 0-2 struggling, and that's odd for Iota. But I tell you what, they came up tonight and they were
Thursday
not.
night.
Last night, and they were not going to be. Well, actually, night before last now. They're not going to be denied. So congratulations to
you
them.
had Crowley coming off a thrilling victory over Northwest. You know they was playing with emotion and playing high. Home opener at home. So that's a big win for the Iota moving forward.
Moving forward, that's a big win for them this year.
Holly said lock of the week goes to Acadiana Wrecking Rams, and did the Fear to Veer roll Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen. All LCA did week 1 to Acadiana was piss them off.
Oh, did they?
Because back-to-back weeks, the Veer machine has rolled.
I always said, you want to. The worst time to play Acadiana is after a loss, because when they go back to the drawing board, it's like you throwing gas on a fire. And the last 2 weeks, they've proved it.
Yes, indeed, my friend. Final score: Acadiana 48, New Iberia Senior High 14. Wrecking Rams. Here they go. Don't let the Rams get hot.
They get hot, they're going to run. Their destination is going to be the Superdome again.
And they're going to have to earn it this year.
Oh, yeah, this year with these new bright. Oh, my God. We'll talk about that another time.
How about a rivalry game between St. Martinville and Brobridge? We love this rivalry. Did not live up to the hype this year. No. St. Martinville, too much on the road. That's a good football team. Yeah. Their record doesn't define what type of team they have over there.
You're right.
41-13, St. Martinville on the road takes down their rival, Brobridge.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be a lot closer, and I gave Brobridge the edge, but St. Martinville proved me wrong.
Yes, indeed. You want a game in the night caliber Thursday night? How about Calvary Baptist and Bird meeting at Lee Hodges Stadium? And Calvary Baptist gives Bird all they can handle. Bird escapes with a 14-7 win over Calvary Baptist. Something to keep an eye out on.
That must have been an exciting game because, Calvary Baptist, look out for them this year in the future. Even with the new brackets and everything, then Calvary Baptist is just Calvary Baptist.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying up late with us. We're tired. Y'all awake. Let's keep this train rolling. Mm-hmm. Friday Night Football, we go. Gary, initial thoughts of week 3 before I touch on these games.
Just a big wow, a big ooh, and a big ah all across the board. Some exciting games for the streak is over. We talked about that, but there's some exciting results that we're going to talk about.
Let's jump straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. You just said it. We were up in the press box tonight covering the Northwest and Beauchene football game. And the PA announcer he announced the score of the North Central and Thrive game, and the stadium erupted.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you up in the top of the press box, but we had some freaking joy.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to understand. I mean, you have, we call it the consolidated schools of St. Landry Parish. You got Northwest, North Central, Port Barry, Eunice, and OHS, and Beauchene. Okay, those are the 5 major high schools. Yes, they compete against each other. Yes, they're all different. But whenever you have this situation that North Central is so good in basketball and other sports, but they've been struggling in football. And when they announced this score, everything went. They were so happy for them. And that's what you see about this parish. I mean, it's a lot of good things.
Gary, I would have loved to have been at that game tonight to see the thrill from those players and see the thrill of Coach finally getting it done.
And the good thing is it was at home. They did it at home. And I think that if they show that, you're going to start seeing a lot of those athletes that they have at that school, and those, say like me, in the halls, start to come out for the football team. And it starts with the coach. And I think that he's on the right direction, and I want to congratulate him.
Congratulations, Coach Carruth at North Central, picking up your first career victory as a head football coach. And also, congratulations to that North Central football team. They stuck with it, and they got it done tonight. All the hard work paid off.
The streak is over.
The streak is over, ladies and gentlemen. If you ain't heard about it, go find it on social media. And you just heard it from ourselves.
What was that final?
Final score, Gary Swallow, and it wasn't even close. North Central 54, Thrive Academy 6. Big night for the Hurricanes.
Big night.
Gary, they might not win another game this year.
But they got one.
They got one finally.
That's it.
So they got that egg off their back.
Right. I'm so excited for them.
Next up, it was South Bow DeQuincy, a rivalry week, I was told.
Right.
South Beauregard comes in to DeQuincy. And Gary, a 2-touchdown win for South Beauregard. I'm sure we're going to find out what happened soon.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to get a phone call.
We're going to get a phone call. We're going to find out what happened soon. But what can you say here? You had 2 0-2 teams playing, and we thought DeQuincy was the heavenly favorite in this contest. And South Beauregard says, keep picking against us, Jordan and Gary, and we're going to prove you wrong again next week. South Bow, congratulations. You go on the road, you beat DeQuincy in DeQuincy, and you beat them by 2 touchdowns. So hats off to that program.
Very good. Congratulations. I think DeQuincy's is on the right path, but South Bow came in there and said, we're still here. And they really
that's a big win for that South Beauregard program.
When you have rivals, I mean, rivals, you can have a terrible season, and if you beat that rival, you're okay.
They all get up for that game.
They all get up for that game, yes.
Next up, Kaplan, LaGrange. Both teams looking for their first win. Who would get it? Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Coach Brody down there at Kaplan picking up the win tonight. Maybe this boosts this football team moving forward. This might be what they needed for moving forward.
I think so. I think they just needed a shot in the arm, or say like me, a kick in the pants, whatever you want to call it. I think that they just needed the right scenario, the right time, and they just needed to play a good, solid ball game, and they did. So, congratulations to Kaplan.
Final score, 40-14. Kaplan goes into the swamp and takes down LaGrange tonight. Next up, Cecilia. No problems with Washington Marion. They finish this one at home, 42-6. Cecilia moves to 2-1 on the season. But Oakdale and Ville Platte meeting on Friday Night Football, and Oakdale, no problems. They go and knock out Ville Platte tonight. Final score 38-0. Mr. Swallow.
Good job,
Did you-
Mikey.
Did you expect that Ville Platte offense to get shut
No,
out?
I did not. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. I gave Oakdale the edge because I know Mikey, offensive coordinator, coaching staff. I know them. But I didn't think it was going to be a shutout. But I want to say congratulations to Mikey and Oakdale.
Oakdale 2-0, Mr. Swallow.
Yes,
So keep an
2-0.
eye out of that Oakdale football team moving forward.
Mhm.
Back-to-back big wins for
Correct.
that program. They're doing it with ease these
Yeah.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll continue. Mikey's got a good, he's the offensive coordinator out there. So I think he's got a good thing going.
Next up, Delcom Pope John Paul II. If you were a fly sitting on somebody's shoulder or watching this one from a distance, you were in for a treat.
You were.
Gary, you look at this score, 13-9. What was it? A touchdown and 2 field goals type of night?
Looks like it.
What was it? John
Maybe.
Paul a touchdown and a safety? I would love to know exactly how this game unfolded, because you got a 13-9. That's not a unusual. That's not a
That's
usual
3
score.
field goals. I mean, is the kicker
Three,
that
yes,
good? It
yes.
could be 3. Or a safety and a touchdown. We don't know.
I don't know, but I would have loved to see this one in person because of that score right there.
Right.
Something special happened in this game, and many people will talk about it moving forward, and I wish I could have seen it.
Right. Myself.
Final score, Delcom 13, Pope John Paul II 9. One of those scores where you just like, wow.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Next up, Westminster went down to Hanson. We talked about it Wednesday night. Would it live up to the hype of last year?
Right.
Gary Swallow, this is one of the picks where I can say that I'm proud that I'm wrong.
Me too. I gotta say that also. This has proven to be a rival game. I think that can go either way, no matter how good or how not so good the teams are. They get up for this game.
Gary
And
Swallow.
it's amazing what they did.
Gary Swallow, like we said, we picked against Westminster Wednesday night. And
I didn't want to, but we thought it was there. 2-0 against 0-2.
this is one of those games where we're proud to say we got wrong.
Correct.
Congratulations to Coach Travis Blaze, that entire coaching staff, and that Westminster football team getting their first win of the season tonight at Hanson Memorial. Looks like the offense found some clicking tonight.
They found their rhythm. I think that's what it was. They found their rhythm. Look out.
28-7, Westminster on the road and gets it done.
Correct.
Gary Swallow, I talked to Coach Vinny this week. He said, don't sleep on that 0-2 Independence football team. They play in a tough district, and they got some athletes.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it, and it wasn't going to be an easy test. They were going to have to go earn it tonight. Gary Swallow, I think they earned it.
I think they did too.
Looking at this score here, Catholic Appoinca P. We said this a couple weeks ago. This Catholic Appoinca P team is going to be hard to beat this year.
Correct. I think they're rock solid all the way across.
Yes, indeed, my friend. How about Catholic Appoinca P 54-12? Independence came into Hornet Town, and Catholic Appoinca P does what they do best.
Right.
They probably was physical up front. They probably won the turnover battle, and they probably kept the ball for 45 minutes
Correct.
of that 48.
And the thing about it is, Catholic Appoinca, when you go to New Roads and play this team, it's hard to beat over there. They are very hard to beat.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
They play that physical brand. We're going to punch you in the mouth for 4 quarters. I love it.
Right.
So congratulations to the Catholic Appoinca P Hornets. There, Swallow, your next matchup, Elton Montgomery. Somebody said last week, they said, y'all not talking about Elton.
Well, we
Y'all-
talking about them tonight.
Y'all don't have Elton on y'all show. Well,
We're
ladies and
still
gentlemen.
waiting for a helmet for our show.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about Elton 2-0 right now, you're going to start getting the buzz and start getting us itching a little bit closer and saying, hold up, What's going on in Elton?
Correct. Yeah, they must.
What's going on in Elton, Gary Swallow? Elton's 3-0.
Right.
Elton took care of business tonight, and they are 3-0 for the first time in a long time. The Indians
I think they tapped something in the water over there, man.
moving
It's
forward.
unbelievable.
have something moving forward. Congratulations to Elton. You deserve it.
Yeah.
It has been a lot of down years, but this looks like a year where I'm sure the community is buzzing.
Right.
I'm
I
sure
think
the
it's
school is up. And like you said, this could be something where they get kids out of the hallways.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
that's the thing. When you have a school that's been down for so long, there's only one way to go is up. And, hopefully
These three wins is
this is
something
going to keep them going.
that where they can build off of for sure. So
Right.
congratulations to the Elton Indians. Check that out. Coach Brody checking in the late night recap show, Mr. Swallow. Coach, big win on the road tonight in the Swamp.
Wow.
He says, Caden Campasi, we interviewed him in the UTL Stadium tour. We watched him for the Abbeville game last
Right.
year. All he did tonight was 269 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Oh, my God.
Have a night, number 36. Way to go lead as a senior.
That's awesome. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, that Elton Bazil game's next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting.
Hello. All right, moving along to our next one.
Grand
We
Lake.
talked about Grand Lake a lot on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We said Grand Lake, all they doing is scoring points. All they
Scoring
doing
a
is
lot.
being a bully.
Mm-hmm.
And Grand Lake has backed up everything they've talked about, Mr. Swallow.
Yes, they have. Always been that way.
You can't touch on it more than this football team is the real deal.
Correct.
I mean,
They're gonna make a run. They're gonna seriously, I think, make a run. And they have they're making a statement so far.
3 weeks in a row
Right.
they made big time points
Right.
statement.
Right.
I mean, you give up 33 tonight, but you score 66. Who's
Right.
that recipe? If we score
Sure.
one more point than the other
Yeah.
team, and we score 59, and they
Then-
score 58,
Then we're gonna get on that shelf.
then no, that's what Church Point does.
Yeah.
That's what Church Point is gonna score 60. They might give up 59, but
They gonna score.
They win the football game. They win the football
That's
game.
right. That's
So-
that's what they're worried about.
Grand Lake, 3 weeks in a row, big time numbers, and they moved to 3-0 in the year. Watch out! Can Grand Lake get back to the championship form of where they were a couple years ago?
I think they can.
We'll keep an eye out on it.
Final score.
Final score: 66-33, win over Pickering.
Wow.
Notre Dame, they trying to get back to the big dance.
Mhm.
And all they did so far, Mr. Swallow, week 1 win against Southside.
Right.
Week 2 win against St. Martinville.
Right.
And then tonight they go on the road and take down 5A Como on the road.
That's a hard place to play.
They still played up in 3 classifications.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's a hard place to play. When you're going up against a 5A school, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Notre Dame moves to 3-0 in the year, 34-14. Notre Dame, Pios, the Pios are coming.
That's right.
Whew. Next up, Gary Patterson and Ascension Episcopal. Holy offense.
You're right on that one.
There's a lot of games tonight that didn't play no defense. And you got the defensive coordinators going, sit down, drinking a cold one, scratching their head like, man,
What happened?
What did I just watch?
What happened?
what did I just watch? And this is another recipe of that. Patterson, 69. Ascension Episcopal, 52. Gary, a bright spot from that game, there was special teams.
There was. That's right.
Ascension Episcopal kicker drilled a 53-yarder tonight.
He's gonna be.
He's kicking on
He's
Saturdays.
gonna be kicking on Saturdays and maybe Sundays if he keeps that up.
He's going to be kicking on them some Saturdays for
Yeah.
sure next year.
Most definitely.
Yes, indeed. Final score, Patterson moves and stays undefeated with a big 69-52 win. Patterson's offense is clicking.
You right.
Keep an eye out on Patterson. Here comes the Lumberjacks.
I'll tell you what. Look out. It's going to be an interesting from this time going forward.
Gary,
But this next game, Jordan.
Gary Swallow, this next game. If Chris Esprit said OHS is going to beat Lake Charles College Prep, I called him crazy.
I think we all did. I mean, because
If Keith said OHS was going to beat Lake Charles College Prep, I looked at him funny. If Big D said, don't pick against my Tigers, I would have shook my head.
yeah.
All they did tonight was shut out a potential state championship football team.
That's amazing. That just shows me that OHS is on the right track. They're going upwards. They actually putting their stuff together. That score surprised me so bad.
Talking about
if it would have been 1 or 2 points, but this was a dominating performance
you talk
by
about
the Tigers.
a program win that just sets the standard moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Most
They
definitely.
went and shut out Lake Charles College Prep at home. You can't say much more than holy cow, what a win. It's a huge win for that program.
It
And
happened right up the road.
Gary, you're starting to make it us. You made us believers tonight.
I think so. I think so.
Holy cow,
OHS, Lake Charles College Prep, amazing game.
Gary! When the whole state counted you out, Opelousas said, "We got our group.
Mm-hmm.
We know what we got in that locker room. We know who's sitting in the stands cheering on this football team. We don't listen to the outside noise. Let's go play Tiger football." And that's what they did for
They
48 minutes. Final score 21-0. Opelousas High over Lake Charles College Prep. Biggest wow of the year so far.
That's so far. That's my biggest wow, my biggest ooh, my biggest oh my God.
And it's right here in the same city that we're doing our recap show.
Correct. Right down the street. Right down the street from us.
You got to be happy for that program right now.
I am so happy for everybody in Opelousas. The two major Opelousas teams. Actually, tonight, between this weekend, all three of them. Westminster did well. OC Thursday, and now OHS. So all of the schools in Opelousas are really being successful. But kudos to Opelousas High School Tigers. Great job.
Coach Jimmy Zachary got these guys believing that they can go win a big-time game like tonight, and all they did was go prove it in front of probably what was a huge crowd tonight.
Correct.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Big win for Opelousas High. Next up, we covered this game, Beauchamp Northwest. Beauchamp, injury bug has struck that football team. They lost another big piece tonight.
Right.
We saw number 19 go down.
Yeah, and it looked like it was a leg injury.
Had ice on the knee whenever I passed the sideline.
I'm hoping that it's not anything major. I hope it's a twinge or something like that. But they literally had to carry him off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the injury bug. I mean, they're up to their second string quarterback. I actually saw the play. I was watching him. He went up for a pass, and I think they call it the turf monster. Whenever you plant and your knee buckles or your leg buckles, I think that's what happened. I just hope it's not as severe as I think it is.
Gary, first look at the new offense for Northwest. Boy, they got a bowling ball at fullback, and they got some speed when those guys get around the corner.
Jordan, do you realize that we saw one player score 4 touchdowns?
Our player of the game scored 4 on the ground tonight, and they ran the same play.
And
he scored 4 times from the same play.
Right, running the sweep. And then the fullback runs 3 times up the gut for touchdowns.
One time he went untouched. The other two he broke tackles on the way.
But so you had one running back that had 4 touchdowns, a wing back that had 4 touchdowns, and a fullback that had 3. Oh my God!
7 touchdown night.
So you got to say thumbs up to this young man. Congratulations. Beauchamp made it close for a little. At one point, it was actually getting closer.
It was a good game going into
the fourth quarter.
Into halftime.
Yeah, and
halftime it was an 11-point game.
Right.
Beauchamp got a big play with the tip ball touchdown.
Yeah, correct.
But they had multiple opportunities tonight to make this even closer because Northwest coughed it up a lot tonight.
Right. There's still some. Northwest still has to work on ball
Some
control
timing.
and security. But man, I tell you what, they turned the ball over four times, maybe 5 times tonight. I think 4.
4 or 5,
And they still won.
Moshen only cashed in on 2 of those
2 of them.
opportunities.
So you're looking at that, and it's like, oh my God, they still won by a bunch.
Gary, when we got to that fourth quarter, Northwest's offense just hit a second gear.
Correct. It was
just took off.
unbelievable.
So congratulations to Coach Edwards out there at Northwest. Football team played inspired tonight.
Correct.
So
Most definitely.
we'll take that into our next pick. Also, thank you to Northwest and the Northwest administration for having us tonight.
Correct. Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all so much. Next up, Westlake blanks Vinton tonight on the road, 35-0. Westlake finding their mojo again.
Westlake is going to be. I can't wait to see them further down. They have some interesting games come up, but Vinton was and Vinton was 1-0. Vinton went in there. I guess they were feeling good, but Westlake just shut them down.
Yeah, it was probably a mismatch on the field. Close at first, and then Westlake just do what they do towards the end.
Correct.
Next up, how about Abbeville, the Wildcats, taking on North Vermilion tonight. Tell you what, you talking about defensive struggle, here you go. I heard Coco de Klepto scored a big one tonight.
Yeah. I heard that they said, I was listening to them on the radio coming back from the game, and they said this was the Vermilion Parish game of the week. They said it was unbelievable. And I believe it because of the score.
We missed a good one tonight, my friend.
Yes.
Abbeville goes on the road. They didn't have to go far.
No, right down the road.
Right down the road. I'm sure it was a packed house. North Vermilion, 7. Abbeville, 12. The Wildcats get it done and move to 2-1 on the season. Without that Hail Mary that wasn't knocked down, they would be sitting 3-0 right now.
Correct.
So, Abbeville, it's not flashy with points, but that just goes to show you how good this defense is.
It is. It's great.
So, next week, Abbeville down here at Beauchamp. Interesting.
That's going to be a very interesting game.
Next up, Logan Sport and Peabody. The Harry Coleman era has begun, and Harry Coleman has his troops out to a 2-0 start. Big test tonight for the War Horses, as they welcome in the state runner-ups from Logan Sport. And Logan Sport, too much. A veteran ball club.
Right.
Played in the big dance, so they know about big-time games. So I think Peabody can get to that point one day because they got the right man in charge.
Correct. Most definitely.
But tonight, it was Logan Sports' night, and they proved that they are still trying to go get back to the dance themselves.
Right.
Final score. Final score, 46-13, Logan Sport.
Yeah.
With the big win.
That's just Logan Sport was just too much for him tonight.
Lake Arthur Jeanerette, hot start out the gate. They go 2-0. They run into Lake Arthur tonight, and it was homecoming. And you know you play a little harder whenever it's homecoming night. Lake Arthur gets the win 13-0 over Jeanerette. Another good ball game that would love to see in person.
Yeah, didn't see that coming. I thought Jeanerette was playing too good a ball, but Lake Arthur said, nope, it's our night.
It's hard to beat somebody on homecoming.
Correct.
Rain, Church Point, it's up.
That's a game.
It's up for game of the year right now.
Right, you're right.
If you didn't get to see it, go watch the replay on Bearcat Broadcast. No, I said that wrong, Gary. Bear Nation Broadcast. Go watch the replay of that one because all they did was it was a back and forth thriller of a football game. Church Point edges Rain tonight at home in front of a packed house. Final score 52-47. Oh, what a game.
You're
What a game. How about them Bears?
I tell you what, Jordy, I had a chance to go, and whenever we went get this helmet, wherever
I can't see
it's
it.
up here. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Arsenault, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I think that they've got a great staff over there, and they've got a good philosophy. And he told me flat out, he says they lost a lot on defense.
Yes.
He says, and he was one of them that said, he says, as long as he scores one more point, he says, if we give up 58 and we score 60 or 59, he says they still win the game. He said, and that's the most important part. But that's exactly what it was. Between Rain and Church Point, it was a track meet. It was like, anything you can do, I can do better. Whoever had the ball last probably won.
Remember we talked about Church Point, big time turnover on the final drive against Kinder.
Correct.
Might have had a turnover on the final drive tonight,
Correct.
or
I'm not sure.
that might have been the go-ahead touchdown. We don't know.
Yeah.
We got to see some highlights.
Yeah, definitely. But
So
I'm very, very happy to see Church Point in the win column.
Church Point off to a
Congratulations.
3-0 start. Huh. Okay. And who are you, sir?
I have no idea.
You know you don't have to watch.
Yeah,
That's a big thing. There's other things out there.
other venues.
And you can start your own too. Maybe you'll get all of Abbeville to watch it because Abbeville loves Under the Lights.
Right. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry. That's fine.
Yes, indeed. Church Point 52-47. Final score. Next up, Lafayette Sulphur. Thought this was going to be one of those shootout type of games, Mr.
Correct.
Swallow.
Yes, I thought so too.
Instead, Lafayette moves to 3-0 on the season. Takes down Sulphur. They played this game at LCA. Final score 42-25. And Jake, you ain't got to reply back, Jake. That's not necessary. Manny versus Hawkton tonight, 35-0. Manny, they are rolling, Mr.
Correct.
Swallow.
Yes, they are. Most definitely.
You're talking about another game we wish we could have seen tonight, and we talked to Mr. Jason a little
Yes, most
earlier.
definitely.
I talked to a couple people the other night
Mm-hmm.
and earlier tonight, and they said if you wasn't at the Kinder Rose Pine game tonight, boy, did you miss out. So the Yellow Jackets and Rose Pine met tonight, and it was a close game all the way through. I heard sometime in the last minute or so, Kinder go-ahead touchdown, and the Yellow Jackets take down Rose Pine tonight, 14-7. A little revenge from last year.
Yes, most definitely.
So how about them Yellow Jackets tonight? Congratulations to Coach Fusilier and that football team and that entire coaching staff. Big time win tonight.
You're right. You're right. And you can't say anything but congratulations to them. They're playing a good, some good football. And like I said, they're just trying to keep that winning tradition going, and it seems like they're back on track.
Next up, you had Southside. You had Karen Crow. And you talking about the Sharks made a statement tonight, Mr. Swallow. Southside,
most
all
definitely.
they did was go into the Crow Dome and hang up 49 on one of the teams we thought was playing the best football around the area right now.
Correct.
And Southside, huge game to make a statement, and all they did was go into the Crow and beat them 49-23.
They went into the Crow Dome
Into the Crow.
and did that. So I'm going to tell you right now, I did not see that, but I want to say congratulations to Coach Fontenot and Southside. This has got to be one of the premier, one of the biggest wins of that school's short existence. I mean, they've only been around, for a few years.
Right.
And look at what he's done coming in and just starting from basically from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's making them raise some eyebrows, as far
That's
as that.
definitely an eyebrow raiser tonight.
Oh, yes, sir.
To be the champs, you got to beat the champs, and someone has still not beat them. Next up, Westgate went down to Evangel. We said if this is 10 years ago or further, you flip this and you're like, this is an easy Evangel win.
Right.
But to be the champs, you got to beat the champs, and Evangel could not beat the champs tonight. Westgate goes on the road and takes down Evangel 37-21. Westgate, here they come. They're on a big streak, Mr. Swallow.
Yeah, they are. And I'm going to tell you right now.
They're going to be hard to beat.
I wouldn't want to play them. Not right now. Heck, I don't think I'd want to play them this year. They're destined to probably repeat.
Hell, well, they got moved into that D1 bracket.
Right. That's going to be the thing. With all of the new brackets that they have and the new playoff system, it's going to be very interesting to see what's happening. But anyway, congratulations to Westgate.
I mean, they got some big ones coming
Yeah.
up with Westgate LCA,
Right.
Westgate St. Thomas More.
Man,
Some big ones.
But I want to tell you is that they're putting together the schedule to where if they stay healthy and they can win some of these games or win all of them, golly, they'll be hard to beat all the way down.
I agree, my friend. How about Avoyelles and Eunice? We said Eunice had the capability of being physical up front and disciplined on the line. Things must have went Avoyelles' way tonight. They must have been getting those fourth down conversions.
Right.
They must have been getting those 2-point conversions. They must have been getting them onside kicks, because all they did was went into Eunice, Louisiana, and take down Eunice Bobcats 50-28. This was close.
This was 28 at one time.
It was close.
Eunice was ahead for a while. It was back and forth, and then Avoyelles' offense, the way that they do things, I think it just wore down the Bobcats. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, their offense, the offense that Avoyelles runs, is a power offense. It just keeps moving forward, and I'm gonna tell you, I think that they just wore them out. But Avoyelles, great win over a great opponent.
You're right. Huge win there after the loss last week to bounce back the way they did. So, Coach Boone, big win
You're right.
for the program
Very
moving
much.
forward. Iowa Leesville, 2-2-0 teams meeting tonight. A lot of us were on that Iowa bandwagon, and we didn't even realize how good this Leesville football team actually was. Gary, that's a good football team.
I know, man, and I'll be honest with you. I hate to say this, but I picked them. But I thought it was going to be tit for tat, everything like that. And I wouldn't have been surprised if Iowa would have won. But
That's why you play the game.
That's why you play the game. Congratulations to Leesville for an awesome job.
Darbone says Eunice gave up 29 first downs and 5 onside kicks tonight. 470 rushing yards. It was 28-28 at halftime. I said
my God.
I said the ball must have been bouncing their way tonight for Avoyelles to hit 50.
5 onside kick. I wonder if they recovered all of them. So it must have, huh? He said 5 onside kicks, but did they recover them all?
I'm not sure, but that's something to see, man.
Yeah, but they practice these onside kicks. That's all they do. They'll onside kick. Every kick that they have is an onside kick. They don't punt the ball.
They recovered all 5.
They recovered all 5. Oh my God. That in itself kills you. That is crazy.
Next up, you had Sacred Heart and Basel, a battle of the 2-0s down there at Hanson Field tonight. And Sacred Heart has really owned these last few years in this series. What would happen tonight, Mr. Swallow?
A good ball game.
Yeah, it was a good one.
That's all I can say. It's a good ball game. That's the only thing I could tell you is that, these two teams, first of all, they're bitter rivals. They're not far from each other. And I'm going to tell you, they're always playing good ball. So I think it's, I think it's going to continue that way forever. And it was a good game tonight.
Yeah, you had this one come down to what I heard was the final play of the game.
Correct.
And I could be wrong. Somebody could let us know something in that nature. But holy cow, Sacred Heart comes down with the game-winning touchdown.
Correct.
You had to be there to see it.
All they said that it was a game-winning touchdown, and it was like, okay, what's what with this, and
we're gonna find out a lot more after the show. But congratulations to the Trojans.
That's all we can say.
When you can have walk-off victories like that, boy, that says something that you will remember for the rest of your life.
Right.
You'll always remember where you were whenever that catch was made.
Yeah. Now this next game, Jordy. Oh my God, that's all I can say.
St. Aug 2-0, Zachary 2-0. We made the statement the other night on the show. No.
Yeah.
We made the statement the other night on the show. We said Zachary and Catholic of Baton Rouge. That is the 2 best teams in the state of Louisiana right now.
Correct. We got
served again.
Yeah, we
got
through a monkey
served
wrench.
again. Gary Swallows. St. Aug came into Broncos Stadium tonight, and I don't know if you can call it an upset. I don't know what you call it. What's the words that somebody in the chat can give us? Because we just saw the Broncos go down in the regular season tonight.
That's the first time in a long time. All I can say is, wow, big time.
How good is this St. Aug football team, or how bad did the Broncos play tonight?
That's the key.
That's the question
We don't
mark.
know.
Where's that at for all my people that direction?
Right.
My followers and fans from that side of the river, anybody knows.
Yeah, let us know,
How it happened tonight.
Yeah.
How good is St. Aug, and how bad did Zachary play? That's the question mark I want to know. Because
Right.
if St. Aug earned that win, that's huge.
More power to them.
That's
it.
freaking huge,
that's
and
awesome.
that makes us rethink our playoff teams
Correct.
and state championship picks moving forward. But we don't know, so we'll see. Homer, General Trash, that just sounds good together.
Correct.
I said this has the makings of 100-plus points scored that night.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, General Trash jumped off to a fast start. We're watching this game on Score Stream. We're looking at the scores. We said, man, General Trash might run away with this one.
Right.
And here came Homer, and Homer never looked back.
Well, they weren't panicked. They didn't panic. They just stuck to what they needed to do, and they just played Homer football.
Gary, this team is explosive, and if there's any 1A teams moving into that Division 4 bracket with the new 2A teams that can throw a headache to some defensive coordinators in that playoffs, it's them.
That's one right there.
Homer. They might be even better this year.
Correct.
Oof. Next up, Captain Shreve versus Union Parish. What would the Trey Holly show do tonight? Not enough. At home, Captain Shreve 5A program comes in and steals a victory from Union Parish. Captain Shreve, we looked at them last year. We said they could make a run for the title.
Right.
This is a big win for this program. They moved to 3-0.
Correct.
Whenever the headlines are about one person on the other side of the football, Captain Shreve's defense must have did something good tonight.
Captain Shreve has always had a lot of tradition. They were at one time they were the West Monroe of North Louisiana years and years ago. And then, West Monroe became so popular and everything like that, and Captain Shreve kind of went down. But looks like they're coming back. So, great job.
Back-to-back successful seasons.
Right.
And then off to a 3-0 start now. I can't wait till Captain Shreve and Bird play later on this year.
That's going to be an awesome ball
I
game.
had 10,000 fans at the game last year. How many this year?
Oh, they'll probably break that record. Especially if they're both successful like that.
We talked about Captain Shreve's defense just now. Now I want to shift gears and talk about Vermilion Catholic's defense.
Oh, my God. You're right.
Gary, all VC did tonight was shut out a really good Loreauville Tiger football team that was 2-0.
And that was flying around with speed and power and everything. They had big play, explosiveness capabilities. And then what did they do? They went in there and said, okay, not tonight.
Gary, we said it countless weeks now. Vermilion Catholic is all in to win a state title this year.
Correct.
Are you a believer yet?
Yes, I am now. I think after what they've done, I think they're destined.
They have a shot to get there. They got some teams in their bracket that's not going to hand it to them. But they've got a shot. With the way they playing now, the veterans they have, the coaching staff they have, Vermilion Catholic has a really good shot. And we believe that this VC team can make a run for it.
Correct. I think they can.
Vermilion Catholic shuts out Loreauville tonight 28-0. The Screaming Eagles were flying high tonight.
Right, they were. The next one.
Gary, the next one, when we talked about statement wins and program-defining wins and so much more caliber wins where you just sticks out, where you use it as bulletin board stuff to say, look at what we did. Look at what we accomplished because of how much hard work you put in, how much belief you have in this coaching staff. We throw all that into one big pool and we say, look at Teurlings. All Teurlings did tonight, Gary, was knock off the defending state champs at home. You look at Teurlings last week, Mr. Swallow, and Teurlings knocked off the semifinal team last year of Avoyelles.
Right.
And then you look at Teurlings week 1, Mr. Swallow. They knocked off OHS, who just knocked off Lake Charles College Prep tonight. Give me a better 3 weeks into the season. I know one out there, but give me a better start for this Teurlings football team in recent memory.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know of any right now. The Teurlings is playing. They're hitting on all cylinders.
This is one of the better Teurlings football teams I've seen in a long time.
I think they really have a spark now. I know a couple of they have a couple of new coaches that are actually one of them's from Opelousas. He's actually originally from Port Barre, but
Tommy?
Tommy Tate. He's actually over there now at Teurlings, and I'm gonna tell you, I think he's sparking up that defense, and he was a defensive backs coach here at OC, and I think he brought his expertise and his talent to Teurlings, and I think, man, they're hitting on all cylinders right now.
It's the quarterback, the offensive line, the receiving core. It's from bottom to top.
Oh, yeah, their offense is stacked. Yes.
So you look at that and say Teurlings is rising. And
Most definitely.
they're saying not enough people are talking about us.
Right. And they're letting us know about it, too.
Yes. Next up, Sterlington Oak Grove. Boy, did we have this one wrong.
Man, you're right. I had no idea that Oak Grove was going to be able to handle Sterlington. And boy, did they prove me wrong.
Gary, this game wasn't even close.
Not at all.
Sterlington, heavy favorite in this one.
Mm-hmm.
State champs.
Correct.
3A football team.
Mm-hmm.
Oak Grove, coming off of a big loss last week. Did we forget that Oak Grove was playing this game at home and that they're still Oak Grove?
We must have.
We must have
yeah.
forgot that Oak Grove is still Oak Grove, and Oak Grove played at home tonight.
Right. And they proved it. They showed us.
We written off Oak Grove before the game was even played. And Sterlington, big time loss tonight. And I'm not sure they've lost in a long time. I think they were coming in. They were coming in 18-0 maybe.
Yeah, they were up there. Wow, it's just unbelievable.
Final score: Oak Grove 52, Sterlington 20. Did you bet the spread? Oh Lord!
Lord have mercy. If you did, unbelievable.
Gary, ULAB Catholic of Baton Rouge. This one had state championship feelings all over it. Catholic of Baton Rouge tonight gets the better of University Lab 31-21. Special teams does matter in this sport.
Correct. It does. University Lab and Catholic of Baton Rouge, I mean, they're really not far from each other. As far as location, proximity, but
D1 talent all over the field tonight.
They had talent on basically in every position that you have out there. They had a lot of talent. So,
yes.
Great ball game as far as the hype, and I think it turned out like I expected it.
Would love to see this matchup every year.
Most definitely.
Next up, Brother Martin invaded Cougar Stadium tonight. St. Thomas More, their offense has been hitting on all cylinders.
Right.
When you talk about a complete 4 weeks, including the Jamboree, it's the Cougars.
Most definitely. St. Thomas More is trying to get back and repeat. They're just trying to get back to the dome and get another state title. That's what they're trying to do.
They got a good shot.
Most definitely.
They did not fall in the D1 bracket. They stayed in the D2 bracket. Well, Gary Swallow, they got a shot with the way their team has played these first 4 weeks.
And everybody talked about, with Walker Howard going to LSU, but people don't remember when Walker Howard was hurt, this quarterback won some games for them.
Gary,
so he's experienced.
It's going to be hard to pick against St. Thomas More the rest of the way.
You're right. I think it's going to be a tough thing to do to pick against them. But man, they're clicking right now. They're doing well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Brother Martin,
are you still with us? Are you not tired? You gonna sleep on the couch tonight if you stay up any later with us.
That's right. We got a couple more. You got LCN, Jeff?
Yes, I do. Tomorrow, don't forget about Edna Carr and Warren Easton, ladies and gentlemen. That has state championship everywhere written all over it. If you can get down to New Orleans and watch this game in person, we highly recommend it, because when Carr and Easton meet up, it is in for fireworks.
It's always a dynamic every year, but we call them the University of Edna Carr for a reason. They are a phenomenal football team. Their entrance to onto the field is second to none, intimidating. But Warren Easton has seen them before. But so this is they play each other, and they're rivals. They're really not that far from each other. And so you're looking at a rivalry game, but you're also looking at the University of Edna Carr.
Both of these teams, bragging rights is on the line, and pretty much position in the rankings.
Correct.
Going into this really talented D1 bracket whenever you do get to the playoffs. So a win tomorrow could go a long ways of determining who might be hosting
Right.
a playoff game late in the playoffs and who might get the first round bye.
Correct.
And they might both be in that first round bye
Right.
consideration towards the end of it,
Right.
but seeding matters.
Oh yeah, most
in
definitely.
in the postseason.
With this new format, seeding definitely matters.
Yes. That is tomorrow, folks. Final game tonight we're going to talk about. Gary Swallow, if I told you LCA took down Acadiana week 1, took down Woodlawn of Baton Rouge week 2, and took down Jesuit tonight. If I'd have told you
In
this,
New Orleans.
if I'd have told you this in August, you'd have called me crazy. You would have said, hang it up, Jordan. You just don't have it anymore for this sport.
But I was thinking the same thing with you. I didn't think that they could go down to New Orleans, play Jesuit in New Orleans.
We didn't think that in August.
No.
We definitely start that Wednesday night.
Right.
But to see it actually come true,
Right.
this team's going to win a state championship this year.
The way it's looking, yes. I'm not picking against them again. I'm going to tell you right now, I refuse to pick against them again. Because every time I do, I get egg on my face.
5A beat. Acadiana got what, 5 state championships?
Right.
Took care of them.
Right.
Woodlawn of Baton Rouge, LSU quarterback commit.
Correct.
Took care of them.
Jesuit High School.
Jesuit,
Defending state runner-ups.
runner-ups. Took care of them at their place. Gary Swallow, I heard this quarterback for LCA is the real deal. If you've never
Yes.
seen him in person, folks, go look up his huddle and look at some of these highlights this young man makes. I'll tell you what, this LCA football team led by Coach Falk, Pastor J, y'all got something good cooking over there at LCA this year, boy. Whenever you thought, they can't see it. When you thought this team had to jump 2 classifications, they lost some really good seniors that went played D1 football, and you just start that little slight edge where you said, man, this might be one of those down years.
I said it. I won't lie. I said it. And you know what? I got egg on my face. I know what it is. And I'm going to tell you, I apologize. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think I'll ever pick against them again. They've got
year.
it. Not this year. Nope.
I'll tell you what, Lafayette Christian Academy is football at this point,
Right.
in my opinion. You
Correct.
talked about best teams in the state of Louisiana. They're in that top 5, top 3 discussion right now.
Correct. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Big night for the Knights. The Night Train rolls into New Orleans and knocks off the defending runner-ups from a year ago in a highly competitive bracket, D1.
Right. D1.
28-25. How about them Knights?
That must have been an awesome game. Just the score alone tells you that it was exciting. So unbelievable. Congratulations to LCA. But don't underestimate Jesuit. Jesuit might have needed this to wake them up a little bit. I'm sure they'll be back.
2 close losses for Jesuit, 1 at Ruston, and then 1 at home against LCA. I tell you what, I don't know when LCA and Ruston play, but it's soon.
Yep.
Holy cow! Can they play on a Saturday so I can go watch?
Yeah, we'll make the drive.
All right, that concludes our picks for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to give out some helmet stickers, some games of the nights to talk about, upsets of the night, and UTL statement win of the night. Who earned those rights from Under the Lights? Gary, upsets of the night. I got 3.
I got 5.
You got 5 upsets
4.
of the night?
I got 4.
4 upsets of the night. All right. I'll start us. Turlings over the defending state champs earns my first upset of the night. South Bow over the Quincy earns upset of the night. And St. Aug over Zachary earns upset of the night, because who saw those 3 coming?
I got one of those. I got the St. Aug and Zachary. But I also have Southside over Carencro,
Okay.
and I also have OHS over Lake Charles College Prep.
There you go.
And believe it or not, St. Martinville over Breaux Bridge, because I thought Breaux Bridge was flying high, and I think that's a little upset right there, because I know they're rivals, but you could take it either way, I guess. But the other three, I think, were major upsets.
Good deal. Next up, we have games of the night, Mr. Swallow. I'll start us off.
Great.
Delcom over John Paul.
Mm-hmm.
13-9. Thriller of a finish there. How did it happen? I can't wait to find out.
Correct. I'm with you.
Turlings over St. Charles. It must have been a good one. 28-22 final. Turlings, that signature win. They claimed it tonight.
Correct.
And does this give Turlings that confidence that where they can finally go take down a St. Thomas More?
It may. It may.
It may. Also, I got Abbeville over North Vermilion tonight. 12-7 defensive showdown there. Games of the night.
Mm-hmm.
How about Kinder over Rose Pine, ladies and gentlemen? That one was a thriller. Came down to the wire, and we missed it, and it sucks.
I know it.
Church Point over Rain. Game of the night. It might be game of the year
Sure.
if you keep that one written down somewhere.
I have that one also. I have also Kinder and Rose Pine. The other ones, I have Sacred Heart over Bazille. And then I have LCA over Jesuit. I think that has to be, up there too. And believe it or not, St. Thomas More over Brother Martin. How strong is St. Thomas More?
They're strong.
They're strong, so those are my three added to yours, the two that you had. But great games of the night, so all the way across.
Gary, statement wins of the night from UTL statement wins of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, Turlings over St. Charles.
Right.
I know we talked a lot about Turlings tonight, but that is huge.
Huge, most definitely.
Southside over Carencro. That's a statement win of the night.
Right.
LCA going down to New Orleans and knocking off the state runner-ups in Division I. That's a statement win of the night.
Right.
And you want another statement win of the night? You got it, my friend. OHS over Lake Charles College Prep. That is at number one.
Right.
Big statement. Shockwaves through the state of Louisiana. How about them Tigers?
I got that one also, but I have a couple others. I want St. Charles and Turlings. Turlings over St. That was to me one of them. But St. Aug over Zachary.
That's a statement.
That's a statement. That's just kind of letting them know. Believe it or not, to me, Captain Shreve over Union Parish. They control Trey Holly. How many people have done that?
That's a statement.
That's a statement, So I think that's that. VC and dominating Loreauville.
Okay.
That's just saying, like, don't forget about us. Loreauville, you good, but guess what? And Abbeville controlling North Vermilion. That was a close, hard-fought ball game. I think that's statement games right there.
Helmet stickers times. I got 4.
I got 4.
First,
Probably some of the same.
First helmet sticker goes to Turlings Catholic. Second helmet sticker goes to Opelousas High. Turlings gets it because of the start they've had this year and a big win tonight over a state champion from last year. OHS gets it because of back-to-back weeks playing exceptional football and knocking off a real title contender.
Correct.
Lake Charles College Prep. Gary, my third one is Elton. Elton, 3-0 start. They earn a helmet sticker tonight from myself. Congratulations to that program. You deserve it. If you put in the hard work, success will come.
Right, most definitely.
Final helmet sticker tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I got to give it to the North Central Hurricanes. Coach Carruth and that football team earned my helmet sticker for tonight for breaking the streak. The streak is over. Congratulations to the North Central Hurricanes.
I agree with you on a couple of them over there. OHS, of course, North Central. Break the streak. I think you deserve a sticker. the other two I kind of like just for dominating fans. Acadiana, because they're Acadiana, and I think that they're really, like we said earlier, the hardest thing to do is beat Acadiana after a loss, and this is their second week that they've just excelled on it. And even though we don't want to acknowledge it because of the fact that they're bitter rivals of our alma mater, Opelousas Catholic Vikings for basically showing their strength. And yes, it was against our alma mater and stuff like that, but you saw some good ball players and some good teams that good kids that came together. Our player of the game is actually, he trained with me when he was a little bitty tot, and so Shalette, yeah. So I have to tell him congratulations. I've been knowing his family for a long time, and good kid, and I'm real excited for him. But they're flexing muscles, so I got to give him that. So that's my.
Coach Davi said it himself. If we ever want to win a state championship here at OC, we got to go schedule some big time names.
Right.
And we got to see how far are we away from that state championship. Well, Gary,
they're on the right track.
They got a big one next week.
Yeah, they do.
They're going to find out how far they away when Southern Lab comes rolling into Opelousas next week.
That's going to be the key game for their year to see where they're at right now.
Yes. Gary, we look at it 3 weeks into the season, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How many? Thursday night, Friday night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
4 week 1, 8 week 2, 12 week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, 12 teams in the last 3 weeks that we have covered. And we haven't covered the same team.
No.
We've covered 12 different football teams.
Right. That
all got exposure and Under the Lights.
Correct.
How good of a feeling is that?
That makes me feel good because some of these kids,
some of these schools don't
have that. Well, some of the schools, but I mean, some of these schools don't get exposure. But some of these kids work hard, and they'll never have a chance to get looked at. They'll never have a chance to get a player of the game. They'll never have a chance to do that because their schools are not exposed. To the media like a lot of these bigger schools. And you know what? That makes me feel good.
Gary, handing these player of the games out, sponsored by Webster's Manifest.
Right.
These last few weeks now, these guys' eyes are lighting up whenever they see this.
Right. When you see somebody that smiles real big for their performance and holds up that football, I say it's football. It's a football plaque, but and they're smiling. I remember. I don't remember which game when we said congratulations, you won a player. He says really, and his eyes just lit up. And that when you see that come out of a student athlete, that just makes my heart feel, so proud that I can be a part of that. So
correct.
It's awesome.
So, like we said, 12 teams have been represented this season on Under the Lights. Well, what a feeling.
Yes, definitely.
Gary Swallow, final thoughts heading into week 4 to close out week 3.
All I can say is, guys, thank you for everything that you guys do for us. And I'm sorry it's so late, but we had a lot of things going on.
Oh, yeah, I had a softball game tonight.
But
we had to fly from Northwest.
Yeah.
Go play a softball game with the State Ranger Abilities Tournament in Port Barry.
Yeah.
Even Gary came out there and watched the game.
Right.
And then
great tournament.
Went to Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Got some food.
Mm-hmm. And then came here and do a show.
And we could not go to bed tonight without doing a recap show because of how good and juicy this week was.
Right. But this is what we do. We want to represent the students of Louisiana and the high school associations, because this is what they work for. Not everybody in here is going to be be able to go to college. Not everybody's going to be able to go to become a pro. But look at it. You're playing high school football. This is where it's at, you deserve to be recognized, and we look forward to recognizing you every week from now until the state championship.
Sunday we will make the announcements of where we're headed next
Correct.
week. A lot of fuzz going into my head right now.
Yeah, we still got a lot of ways we can go, but we just haven't made up our mind yet.
There's a lot of big time matchups across the state of Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, Elton plays Bazille next week.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oakdale plays Grand Lake next week.
That's what I'm talking about.
Manny plays Newman next week.
That's what I'm talking about.
Holy cow!
So we got a lot of opportunities. A lot of people keep asking us, "Where y'all going? Come and do this. Come and do that." We each week we sit down and we put it together, and we're fair across the board, guys.
Jerry, we done put 3 schedules together, and
Yeah.
it changes every week.
Right. So each week is different. So just think about that. Please don't be offended if we don't go to your school. There's a lot of people out there that want to be covered, and we try to be fair. Now we will still announce your scores.
Some of these where they trying to get us to go, I've never even had a conversation with a head coach before.
That's what I'm saying. People have found out that we cover and we do a good job at what we do, even though not everybody can be pacified, and we have a few knuckleheads that give us some rude comments in the chat that we have to just laugh at. But the most important thing is that we're having fun, we're doing our best, and we are being appreciated by the people that we do this for, the coaches and the students.
The best feeling to know as we close this one out is that Under the Lights is respected around the state of Louisiana. Not just here in St. Leger Parish, around the state of Louisiana. What a goal that was.
When you go to a game and you have your credentials and they say, "Hey, are y'all Under the Lights?" And we did that, I think it was Abbeville. Whenever we went to Abbeville, we were shaking hands and having parents and spectators that were there said, "We love watching y'all," and just giving us all the praise in the world. That's what makes us feel good. And, the fact that we can do something positive for them, that makes me feel really good. So I'm excited about that.
Garrett, there's a lot that goes into making a Wednesday night possible with prep.
Oh, most definitely.
There's a lot of miles that we put sometimes to go somewhere on a Thursday night and then have to go back to work the next day on the Friday. And then Friday nights, you see what time we end.
All right.
It's what time you got, Jonathan?
It's probably 2:30, give or take, or maybe 3,
3 on the dot.
Okay.
3 in the morning, folks. And it's time to close this one out and go to bed.
Yeah. But you know what? We don't do it for these guys that are talking trash and being stupid. We do it for the people that are out there playing, the coaches and the players. That's what we do it for.
Gary Swallow, my dog just got into the chat. Jesse Smith from Oak Grove. What a freaking win tonight, Jesse Smith.
Great job, my friend.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen, from Under the Lights here in Opelousas, Louisiana. We sign off for now. Mr. Swallow,
I got to be back.
Big week 4.
I got to be back here soon, so I'm going home and get some sleep.
You good, Jay? Signing off for now. We'll see you Wednesday for the Pick'em show, and then Thursday and Friday. Where we going? You don't know, and we don't know either. But I tell you what, I know where I'm going next Thursday.
Yeah, I know where you're going there.
I can't wait for that game.
But we won't tell you until Sunday.
Let's take a look at the helmets before we close this bad boy out. I'm crippled. Boom. Check them helmets out.
And guys, if you don't have your helmet up here,
You got some right there.
we need to make sure that let everybody know so we can get some up here and represent your school.
A lot of teams won tonight.
Yep.
Those helmets behind us. Say what? That Oak Grove. I'm on the Oak Grove subject. That Oakdale helmet might make its way to the table next week.
Yes. Tell you what, Mikey, Oakdale might be sitting right here come Wednesday.
OHS might be. there
OHS,
also.
yeah, OHS is gonna move up too.
I'm looking at some of these big time wins tonight from some of these programs, and I'm still looking. I got one for you. I see a game we're covering next week that both of those teams are back there.
We might have to put them up front.
All right, Gary, shut it off.
All right, guys, y'all have a great night. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Keep your eyes on the on under the lights for the release of where we're going to be next week, and we'll see you then.